Ladies and gentlemen,
This is the Dental Up Podcast, brought to you by Keating Dental Arts, a full-service, award-winning dental laboratory. Each week, you'll learn tips and techniques from real-world dentists, bringing you in-depth interviews, motivating stories, current events, and sports. Here's your host, Shaun Keating.
Hey everyone, Shaun here. Welcome to another episode of the Dental Up Podcast. Our guest this week is a graduate from the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry. He is licensed for pediatric conscious sedation and is the clinical director for Special Smiles, which provides comprehensive oral health care information and free dental screenings to participating Special Olympic athletes. Currently practicing from Drumright, Oklahoma, please welcome Dr. Travis Burkett, Dds. How's it going, Dr. Burkett?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, dude, thank you so much. I know you're a busy man, and thanks for coming on the Dental Up Podcast, man. Man, I just love your story. I was reading it in Dental Economics. You were in that magazine in January of this year, and what a great story, man. I just love it, man. It's so cool, and it's just, you're kind of a football guy, too. I love that, and small little town. I mean, heck, I think you guys are Drumright is like, I think, under 3,000 people. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, we're right around just, I think, 2,800 people now.
Oh,
so it's a pretty small town. We're located kind of right smack in the middle between Oklahoma City and Tulsa, if you know anything about Oklahoma.
That's so cool, man. It's such a football hub. One of my best friends, he was from Texas, but he actually went to Oklahoma back in the Barry Switzer days. I think he graduated in 1985. And, but he just told me about just the life in Oklahoma and the towns, all the small towns and everything. They closed down. It's like church. I mean, it's on Friday night, the whole town's and for the local high school teams. And is Drumright like that too? I take you got the town kind of shuts down for the football team. How's the football team doing there?
Well, the Drumright team's not very good, but we have a lot of other smaller towns, and we most of our patients actually come from our neighboring town, Cushing.
Okay.
And so we do a lot with them. In fact, since we're on football, my office, we own 3 T-shirt cannons that we shoot off during their high school football games. And like all the football coaches, all the stuff they wear on the sideline has our logo on it. Because we're their number one sponsor. So we're pretty, yeah, we love our football here. And you're right, around here, Friday night, you can't really tell the difference between Friday night and a Sunday morning because everyone's either at church or at the field.
Oh, that's so cool. I tell you, man, I should have been brought up. I grew up on the beach here in Huntington Beach, man, but I see the passion in all these other states. I mean, you can see it on TV in certain football programs that they have different, spotlights on different high schools throughout Texas and Oklahoma and even Georgia and on and on. And what a difference. It just really is a neat thing. And I love football. I run it, Mike. You run your company like a football team. I kind of do the same thing, and kind of very relatable stories as I read about you and stuff. And, I always start off talking about sports. I know you went to Arkansas, Razorbacks, man. So are you a Razorback fan? I remember them back in the day with Lou Holtz, man, and they were just freaking awesome. They didn't do too great last year, I think.
Yeah.
But tell me a little bit about your.
No, we're definitely in a rebuilding mode. But yeah, I'm a huge Razorback fan. I think my son's been able to call the Hog since he could talk, and we have season tickets, and we try to go over there as much as we can for Saturdays.
Oh man, I know that Coach Chad Morris. You think he's got a chance to stay around a few more years, or you think they're going to be looking for a new coach there? It's a tough. The SEC. It's a tough. It's a tough league.
We have a new athletic director, and he's the one that hired Coach Morris, and he's telling all the donors and everyone that Coach Morris has at least 6 years to build the program the right way. So
I
think they're going to try to go slow and methodical and do it right.
I remember those hogs. That Razorback is one mean looking there hog. It's like, but yeah. Well, we're going to get into that. So tell me, let's go ahead and dental up now. Why did you get into dentistry, and at what point did you think I want to be a dentist?
So growing up, I always went to the same dentist, Dr. Melton, and starting in about 6th grade, when he first put braces on me, he started talking to me about, hey, do you think you'd ever want to be a dentist? And I remember telling him, well, no, because at that point, all I'd ever experienced were ortho appointments and hygiene appointment. So I just thought he just counted teeth all day.
Okay.
So I didn't think that was a lot of fun. But he ever told me if I ever had any interest, he'd hire me for the summer. And my first summer I got a job, I detailed semi trucks at a truck driver training center out in the heat. So if you've ever been to Oklahoma in August, it is about 112 degrees and about 200% humidity. So that was pretty miserable. So that next summer, I just said, hey, I need a job with air conditioning. Is your offer still on the table? And he hired me as a sterilization tech, and at 16, I never left.
No kidding.
And then, he kind of just let me do whatever I wanted in the office, follow him around, look at everything, and I just got, a true appreciation of what he did. And it just, I got to see him do root canals and extractions, and it was just got exposed to the profession, and I fell in love with it.
So tell me a little bit about dental school. When you went to Arkansas, tell me a little bit about that and your thoughts on it.
Well, I kind of knew going into undergrad at University of Arkansas that I wanted to be a dentist because I'd been working at the dental practice I own now since I was 16. So I guess I had that going for me, knowing my first day when I went to college that the ultimate goal was to get into dental school. So I spent 4 years at Arkansas, and by the grace of God, I got accepted on my first try to University of Oklahoma. And so I moved to Oklahoma City, and probably like everyone else, I spent four years. They were kind of a blur. I don't remember a whole lot. I don't think there's any kind of social life for those 4 years, but I felt like it prepared me to go out in the real world.
That's so cool.
I mean, that's probably my 4-year dental school story in a nutshell.
No kidding. What a great story. So tell me a little bit, when you got out of dental school, did you go in and practice with someone as an associate, or did you purchase your own place? Tell me a little bit about when you got out of school, where you went to work and how that worked out.
Okay, yeah. I graduated dental school in 2007, and I was an associate for Dr. Melton at Drumright for 1 year.
Okay.
And then that following year, he allowed me the opportunity to buy in, and So I purchased 50% of the practice.
Okay.
And then 3 years later, I bought him out completely. So about 2011, I became the sole owner of Drumright.
No kidding. Good for you for so young, and just, it's so great how you met someone that you were able to do that too. That's just so neat. And what about in that little town, man? I call those towns, because I got a lot of doctors in small little towns in all 50 states. I mean, we work with dentists pretty much everywhere, but I call them a poke and plum town, where you poke your head out the window, you're plumb out of town. But how many other dentists do you have?
About 3 years ago, we lost our only stoplight, and that was pretty big.
Oh, you're kidding.
Pretty tragic news for the town when you lose your only stoplight. So
why'd you lose it? Because people didn't want to stop, or no? You didn't need it, probably?
I think lack of traffic. So the state came in. It was on a state highway, and the state took it out because there wasn't enough traffic to warrant it, I guess.
No kidding. What about
front page news for a while?
That's so cool. What about any good little places, man? See, I love those little places, like the restaurants that are not commercial restaurants, that just privately owned little family restaurant. You got any good little steakhouse or a little place to get chicken? You got any good restaurants in town?
We have a Lebanese steakhouse that people from all over the state drive into just to eat there. So
no kidding.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't eat there 5 or 6 times a week, but I usually end up there almost every day, because that's about the only place to eat here.
No kidding.
It makes your options pretty limited. So when you're going out, you're either going to the Sonic Drive-In or you're going to Joseph's Steakhouse.
Well, heck, man, I got a chili dog, or I got me a ribeye. Man, I could live there. No, that's so cool, dude. What about? So tell me a little bit about the layout of your practice. Tell me how many ops you got, and tell me about your staff. You got a freaking huge staff, dude. I mean, it's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat story, but tell me a little bit about that if you could.
The building we're in now, it opened in 2005 with 6 operatories. In 2009, we did our first expansion, and we added 3 operatories, so for a total of 9. And then right now we're currently in another expansion where we're going to 15 operatories. So the new operatories they started up and running 2 weeks ago. So now the crews are on to their next phase. So we are working with a lot of banging and noise going on. So every day is a new adventure right now, because we never know what wall is going to come down or what's going to happen on the construction side. That's
pretty amazing size. Now, how big is your structure to begin with? Is the building you're in?
Right now we are slightly under 12,000 square feet.
So tell me the staff, how many associates you got, and how many, dental assistants, hygiene? Tell me off the top of your head if you can.
I have, let's see, we have four full-time associates and 1 part-time associate. So and then there's myself. On the hygiene team, we have 6 hygiene chairs. So we have 6 full-time hygienists, and it seems like an army of part-time hygienists.
Yeah.
With 2 hygiene assistants. We have, I'm going to say 12 dental assistants.
Man.
We have a sterilization tech. We have a call center with 4 people, and all they do all day is just they're on the phone scheduling. And then we have a business team of probably 6 more people. We have a marketing director, and the most recent hire is I hired a personal assistant, and that's kind of really changed my life because she takes care of me. She scheduled this call. She's got access to my emails, my calendar, and she makes sure that everything gets done and I'm where I need to be.
Yeah, my producer's shaking his head. She's a hot shot. She really was very organized and just on top of this. Is one of our smoothest transitions of getting to the podcast and starting it. So hats off to her, man. Yeah,
she's only been here for 3 weeks.
Oh, you're kidding. I need to hire people.
No, she just has grabbed the bull by the horn and taken charge.
Oh, that is so cool, man. Well, dang, that's freaking huge. So, I mean, you're up like 30, 35 people, aren't you? Something like that.
Yeah.
That's a huge dental practice for such a small town. Are you pulling from other cities, you think they're coming in from you? I mean, probably from Tulsa and Oklahoma City, probably?
Oh, absolutely. Our drawing radius and our marketing target is about 75-mile radius.
Okay. I think
we cover a lot of small towns. Stillwater, home of the Oklahoma State Cowboys. It's about 30 minutes away from us. Okay. It's about a 40 mile drive, and we have about over 5,000 patients from there that drive.
Yeah, I think you're over
out here to come.
I think you're over 30,000 patients in your practice, aren't you?
Yes, patients of record. We're over 30,000 for sure.
That's so.
It's kind of mind-boggling. I don't know where they all come from, but they keep coming.
Yeah, that's so neat, man. Oh, I really love that. Tell me about your day-to-day, but more specifically about your involvement with the Special Olympics.
8 years ago, we were just working away, and we just kept seeing, I think, word of mouth that these parents of these special needs patients would eventually find us. And because we just, I guess our philosophy is basically, if you have teeth, we're gonna help you out, and we're gonna treat everyone like family. So we never tell anyone that we can't work on them or anything. That doesn't matter what's going on. So, and just one day, this mom from Guyman, which is about a 5-hour drive, said, "Hey, have you guys ever been to the Special Olympic Summer Games? Because everyone's always looking for a dentist." So just on her one comment, we called them up and asked if we could come, and we started helping them with screenings, and then it just kind of snowballed into they asked me to be the clinical director for the state, and now I'm actually on their board of directors. Now each year our office shuts down for 2 whole days, and the whole staff, we kind of move into Stillwater right outside Boone Pickens Stadium and set up a huge tent. And I think we have 7 portable dental chairs set up, and we got water baths where we're making mouth guards for the athletes. And last year we had a photo booth, and we hired some actors to come in as Batman and Superman for the athletes. And it's just, it's a pretty amazing 2 days where we get to interact with the athletes. And, we try to find them a dental home. We either tell them about us, or we have a couple other pediatric practices around the state that are willing to see them. So we just try to get them into a dental home.
No kid for you.
So it's been
That's awesome.
Amazing. It's one of those things where you get in, you think you're going to be helping the athletes, but it turns out you get more out of it than they ever could.
Nah, my heart goes out to you on that, man. That's really neat. It's a big part of your practice, how you touch those lives, and it's a neat thing. We have those Special Olympics out here, and it's just brings a tear to your eye watching these guys and how excited they get and how hard they train. And now, good for you, man. That's awesome.
I mean, every one of my staff members will tell anyone who asks that it's the best 2 days of their year.
Oh, yeah, I bet. No, that is so nice. Good for you, man. Really, really good.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what's like your favorite procedure part of dentistry. What do you like doing? I know you do a lot of bread and butter dentistry there, lots of single units and stuff like that. What do you like doing? I mean, do you like doing crown preps? Do you like working on some ortho? Do you like doing endo? What do you like doing, and what don't you like doing?
Well, it's easy to tell you what I do not like doing dentures.
Okay. Either do I, but I still have to do it because we're full service. But
Yeah,
no, I know, man, that's tough.
That's probably our least favorite among, if you asked all my associates, I think their number one thing they don't like to do are dentures. Personally for me, I like doing all dentistry, but I think probably extractions, taking out impacted wisdom teeth, are probably my favorite thing to do.
Really? That's just so, I see some of that stuff, and I got a bunch of doctors that do a lot of, they call them shucking teeth, but the way you go down the middle third of that tissue and kind of open it up and squeeze it out, and there's an art to that, man, and that's just, anyone in particular help you with your extraction technique out there, or you just kind of lived and learned on that? Tell me a little bit about the extractions, what got you into them?
When I got out of school, I realized a lot of people here just wanted extractions, so I just started tackling them. What really helped is every year we go on a mission trip to Central America, and actually on Friday we're flying out to Honduras for a week.
No
and
kidding.
You learn a lot of techniques when you don't have the access to a handpiece or suction on how to get teeth out.
Yeah,
you have to get kind of creative. So I think that was that right there, just being in a jungle in Honduras with all you have is your headlight, and you don't have any kind of suction, or you don't have a handpiece, and you still have to figure out how to get the teeth out. That's probably the thing that helped me the most.
I hope you got some Novocaine at least, right? No.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we get them numb.
I got a guy on Dental Town, Dr. Tommy Murph, and I think he goes to Honduras or somewhere every year, and they go and do extractions only, just like you're saying, and he brings them along a crew, and I think there's several hundred extractions they'll do in a few days, and it just and he's a real wizard when it comes to it. He even does little courses on extraction techniques, and man, I tell you, it's it's an art to it for sure. Especially, I've had those impacted wisdoms myself, and you don't want to go to the GP on some of those impacted ones. You want to go to that oral surgeon usually, is what I always thought. But guys that got it and then, got a lot of experience under their belts. I mean, that's awesome. It's kind of like the MacGyver thing. You need to kind of do a little bit of everything in your practice in certain areas. And it's just, whew.
Yeah, especially if you're in a small town and our specialists are over an hour away. A lot of our patients will just refuse. They do not want to go to special. They just don't want to drive. A lot of them don't want to deal with the quote unquote big city traffic.
Yes.
So they're just like, well, can't you get it out, doc? So it's just one of those.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we can. We'll go. Give us a week. We'll go find some CE, or we'll go watch it on YouTube, or we'll do something. But
yeah, good for you.
So yeah, because we actually do. There's nothing really we refer out. The only thing we really refer out is if it's a troublesome patient more than a troublesome tooth.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me, with your marketing strategy, what are you doing? Are you doing mailers, social media, working with the public sector? You told me a little bit about it, but tell me how you drive patients to your practice.
Well, we have a pretty big footprint on social media. We're really big in all the communities around here. We try to have a huge presence just at all their events, where we really tackle the schools. I think we do school screenings, scholarships, and teacher of the year for over 15 school districts. 2 years ago, we bought an activity bus for the Drumright High School. It was the first time they've ever had an activity bus, and they let us put our logo on the back third of it. We have TV and TV commercials. The commercials are also played in all the local movie theaters. We've produced children's books before. We have a yearly magazine we make that we send out to everyone. Really big into giveaways. Last year was the first time we gave away a car. We gave away a brand new Jeep Renegade. We're routinely giving away, each quarter we give away a big gift like a cruise or a MacBook Pro, and then each month we have a giveaway, and all the patients get entered in the giveaway if they refer a patient to us.
No kidding. That's a great referral program.
Yeah, and then in front of our office we have a digital sign, and that's been probably the best investment we ever made.
Gosh, and I give away a $50 Visa Keating card, man, for my referrals. I gotta bump that up to a car or something, maybe, huh? No.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised. I mean, I was kind of hesitant on the Jeep giveaway, but I got talked into it, and just the amount of buzz that it created was amazing.
Oh, that's so awesome. I'm looking here at a Special Olympic check, and that's like over $100,000. How'd that come about? I think you're presenting a check to the Special Olympics chapter.
Oh yes, last year we raised $156,000 for Special Olympics.
Unbelievable.
We're really big in giving back
Yes.
to our communities, and since we have a huge presence in Special Olympics, that's our main charity that we help. And like for one quarter, we will donate a percentage of all crowns and bridges that we do to them. I think you'll appreciate this. We have a flag football tournament.
Yeah.
And last year, the flag football tournament raised like $58,000.
Yeah.
Just by getting teams to sign up and sponsors and stuff. So we're constantly looking for ways.
Let me help out on that a little bit with, because I know we're going to start doing some crowns together here in the future, but maybe we could like donate the mouth guards to the flag football team, man. So, because of the Special Olympics, that might be hard because it's just a 2-day thing, but ahead of time, we get those kids, even if you get them in alginates and, put wet paper towel and overnight them to me, we could just knock them out, man. But different team colors, man, whatever, we could help out. I'd love that. Flag football. We used to do.
So it's fun to have all the local police force get a team. Our IT company gets a team, and it's we get to pretend like we're athletes again.
What are some of your thoughts on the new technology in dentistry, like impression scanners, CAD CAM, etc.?
Oh, we love our toys here. We just purchased two of the new iTero scanners. We traded our old two in for the newer one.
Beautiful.
We have two Cerac machines.
Okay.
We have a cone beam in office. We are, I think, one of the first 5 or 10 offices in Oklahoma to have a cone beam. So we never really want to be the first person to get the new technology. We like to be the second or third person.
Exactly.
We want to be right behind them. So in case there's any major things they need to work out, they can take on that before we get it. But I think technology is great. I think it's made our job easier. The new iTero scanners, for instance, the way you can educate your patients chairside now, and you can actually show them what their teeth look like. It's kind of a game changer, and I think it's only going to get better as technology grows. It
really is. I'm off to the Chicago midwinter tomorrow, and I got meetings with the Align people and everything else, and they're going through some things right now with their patents being up and stuff like that. But iTero is a big time player, and we do a ton of digital cases every day, and iTero is like our second most. The 3-shape Trios is a lot what we're getting, but I mean we're doing a lot of this stuff virtual reality with no models, especially on the single units. And I even I have a little 3-unit bridge we did in on my lower left quad, and we did a modelless, and it literally went in with little to no adjustment, and it's just it's a game changer because impression material is great. I still do a ton of impressions here, and but just the shrinkage and the expansions and everything else where the digital, it's just so accurate. I mean, I can even get the exact cement gap that I need. I can adjust accordingly. But man, to have a dental practice sending me digital through the internet, digital files, it's just such a neat thing. And I can design the restoration. I can send it over to my wet mill and do an Emax for you, or I can do it out of my Bruxer aesthetic or my regular Bruxer. And it is just such a neat thing with the fit and the accuracy. And now with the aesthetics we have our own special, zirconia made for us. And it's really mimicking, like the lithium disilicate of an Emax and or a feldspathic type stack crown. It's just amazing. But it's good that you're so young and on the cutting edge of this already. And are you doing any like Invisalign type cases? Any ortho or regular?
Oh yeah, we do. We've been doing Invisalign since I think 2010.
Okay, cool.
And last year I think we did 58 cases. And that's one of the reasons we got the new scanners is we wanted to start showing the patients what it would look like if they got it chairside. So our goal is that we're going to try to scan every patient that comes in the office to try to, educate them on why they need ortho and what's actually going on in their mouth that they can't see.
Absolutely. You know, you could do too. We're doing a lot. I do a lot of temporaries here, you know, just because we do a lot of bigger rehab stuff and, you know, smile makeover type things, you know, 10 up top, 10 below. But we'll get the teeth just scanned from the doctor and what he'll send it to us. And I'll do like our temporaries. We call them pro temps, you know, and so what we'll do is like kind of like the snap-on smile. It's similar to that, especially when they're a dentulous. Say they're a dentulous in the laterals and a couple other areas. We can give them a real quick. I mean, it's not really that bulky. We can keep it down to about 4 or 5 tenths, but we can give almost. It's kind of let them to see. It's kind of like a snap-on type smile. If my doctors call me Shaun, we call it strap-on because you can't say snap-on because it's a Denmat thing or whatever. You don't want to get sued, but so we call it the strap-on smile. But it's just something. It's a neat thing to kind of let them see. You can do it digitally right there. I mean, you can, with their head tilted sideways, you can roll their mandible over and kind of just show them. And it's just such a game changer to let them see that. But then you can also fill in the areas too. But I like to do it too. It's like, you know, to kind of show them what it is. It's, you know, and to be able to click it on is a pretty neat thing. But you got that stuff in your practice already with everything else. Cone beam, are you thinking about?
If you can show the patient the final product, that it's going to sell the case itself.
Oh, absolutely. And it's such
instead of me trying to, you know, describe where their laterals are going to be or that, I can just be like, well, here, let's just.
Yep.
My assistant's going to scan you in 4 minutes, and we're just going to hit this button, and you're going to see it.
Exactly. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, man. So tell me some of your well, let me get back to on that cone beam. Are you starting to do, are you sinking any implants? Are you restoring any implants? Tell me a little bit about your implant journey there and what you're doing and what you're not doing.
Me and 2 other associates place implants, and actually at this point, they're doing way more than I am. So one of my associates, you know, he's even doing like sinus lifts, and he does everything. So we place about, I would say, 15 to 20 a month.
Tell me a little bit about your CE, what you're doing. You go in any conventions? Do you do any CE? Say it's online. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing for your CE.
CE, I do a lot of CE through the Academy of General Dentistry.
Okay.
Just recently, I've started doing CE online with Dental Town.
Okay, good. Yeah, they got everything there, man. They really do.
Yeah, I like the selection. I can do it when I want. It's not really CE, but I do a lot with Scheduling Institute. They're in our office a lot, training the whole staff, and then we send staff, and I go to various meetings they have throughout the year. So
yeah, I think that's got to be a big player for you. It's Jay. Is it Geyer? I think it's Jay Geyer.
Yeah, Jay Geyer. Yeah,
Jay Geyer.
When we signed up with them, that was kind of like you said. That was the game changer. That's what got us.
Yeah,
I think once they started in our office, it was no longer me kind of
seat of your pants.
I wouldn't say dragging the staff, but I was in front of the staff on where we were going. Now sometimes I'm trying to play catch up and keep up with them because now my staff is just taking control and they do everything.
No, that's
now,
huge.
With the help of Scheduling Institute, the staff has taken ownership into the practice, and
I've heard a lot of good things.
It's changed my life, and I think it's changed their lives.
Well, it's just really scheduling and it's just having everything structured, man. When everything is structured and people got their positions and what they're supposed to be doing, it takes all the variables out. And I've heard a lot of good things about that Scheduling Institute, and I think some of our dental practices out there that haven't got into it, they should look into it. I mean, some people say, I can't afford it. Well, you can't afford not to because it'll come back tenfold with you. And maybe in our show notes, we can get a little bit about Jay and his company there over at the Scheduling Institute, help out there for some of our practices that they want to get up there, man. They want to get up there like by this young gun, just crushing it, Dr. Burkett. That's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every doctor or every office, you need a consultant, you need a coach, you need someone to come in and kind of tell you how it is.
Yes, absolutely.
Because when you're in the middle of it, you kind of, you may not see actually what's going on, but when someone can come in, with a 10,000 foot view up and actually see what's going on, because sometimes you get lost
Oh, absolutely.
in the trees when you're in the forest.
Absolutely. I do it here yearly. We got different consultants, and through the years, I've had so many different, my management staff hates it because it's like, okay, let's see what this guy's got to say. But more so than not, they give us a few pearls that we can use that help us practice, better. And that's what it's all about. I always say work smarter, not harder. I got guys that work their butt off, man. They're working 12, 15-hour days in their labs, and they're doing it wrong. Work smarter, not harder, and just get your ducks in order and just get the structure down. Just like same thing in football, man. It doesn't matter how many X and O's you can draw on that board for hours and hours. It's not what that's all about, man. It's just about the right structure and, playing smarter, and it's just something, you got to bring other people in. We do what we do best. You're a dentist. You do great with the patients, doing the restorations, all that. When it comes to business, same with me. I wasn't the greatest tech. I was okay, but I had to work harder than all those other techs just to be up there. And there's so many talented techs out there, ceramists out there, that they're still at the bench and they're still putting in 60-hour weeks. And I'm like, not me. I'm just, you gotta bring the right people in, and just, you just take care of people, you take care of your employees, and you get the right structure. And in any business, I don't care if you're a plumber, a painter, a doctor, a fireman, you just got to do the good deed. You do the right thing, treat people right, get the right people surrounding you. That's just in any business, man. Every great CEO or any great business owner, he's only as good as the people that he surrounds himself with. And you can't just stay the same way. Every change is good. You got to, as I remember when I was in management, when I worked for a dental lab for 17 years, and every time my boss would bring someone in new, I'd hem and haw a little bit, but at the end of the day, it always worked out best for us. And sometimes some of these guys don't bring a lot to the table, but you don't know till you bring them there and you see how, if it works for you, or, we need to implement it or we don't. And it's kind of with any business, you're always going to have these guys coming in to checks and balances, man, and to make you better. That's what it's all about. And you got that down right. And I think it's from Dr. Melton starting you off as a mentor. And then I think Jay over there at the Scheduling Institute really had a lot to do with your explosive growth. I mean, to have 35 employees and to doing millions and millions of dollars a year, I didn't want to throw it out there, man. That's just kind of crazy. You're doing it in a small little town. So for people out there saying that, it can't be done, it can be done. And, just little baby steps. And all you're doing is a lot of onesie twosies and a lot of bread and butter dentistry, and you're just crushing it. So there's hope out there for all you GPs and, dentists trying to figure it out. It can be done.
Well, thank you. And I think one thing that people have an issue with is they have to really check their ego at the door.
Yes.
Like you need to, this wouldn't work if I thought I was the only one that could see my patients. There's no way I could work with another 5 doctors if I thought I had to do everything.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think a lot of the doctors I encounter, they feel like they're the best at everything and no one can do what they do.
Yep. I get a lot
and my philosophy is, well, we all went to school and we all got, the state, gave us all a license, so my occlusal filling's no better than yours.
Exactly.
So, I think that's something that a lot of dentists have trouble with, is getting over that, their ego of that other people can do what they're doing.
Oh, absolutely. What kind of advice can you give some of our younger, newer dentists starting off, some of the do's and don'ts?
The first thing I tell, we usually hire our associates right out of dental school.
Okay. And
one of the first things I tell them is be a sponge when you're with the hygienist and the assistants, because they will teach you more real world dentistry than you ever learned in dental school. Because they've been doing it. They know how to interact with people. They know what the patients are looking for and how to do it, and they know how to do things probably better than you do when you first come out. Absolutely. So don't feel like just because you have the initials in front or behind your name that you know more than the people who've been actually doing real dentistry for years. So that's the first thing I tell them is, use your staff. They're there to help you. And, if they take you into the lab and they want to show you something different, be open to learning.
Absolutely.
So that's the one thing that helped me is I was a sponge, and whatever I was always asking, the assistants when the patient was around. Hey, should I have prepped that crown differently? What do you think? How are we gonna do the impression? And just and the same thing with the hygienist, always asking questions. And I really learned how to communicate with the patients by observing the hygienist.
Absolutely.
Because everybody loves their hygienist. No one loves their doctor. I mean, everybody wants to get their teeth cleaned. Nobody wants to get them drilled on. So, I really, anytime I could get a little nugget of how they interact with the patients or whatever, that was what I jumped on. Because, I mean, the dentistry is the easy part. It's you have to learn how to deal with people, not only your coworkers, but your patients.
Oh, absolutely.
So that would be the first thing is just use your coworkers, because they're there to make you look good, and they want you to do well, because when you do well, they do well.
Absolutely. And patients can see that when you're genuine and you're real and not, hoity-toity, stuck-up kind of.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like,
come in humble.
Yeah. None of my staff call me Dr. Burkett. They all call me by my first name, because that's just the kind of atmosphere we have here.
No kidding.
The only time they call me Dr. Burkett is when they know they're in trouble or they broke something.
That's so true. Oh, man. Well, dude, what a great podcast. Such a great thing to see a young guy doing so good and just so humble about it. But
thank you for calling me young. I don't get that a lot, because I'm the oldest doctor here now.
Dude, you graduated 10 years ago, man. I got underwear older than you. No, just kidding. But no, well, man, thank you so much. God bless you and your family. And I can't thank you enough for coming up on the Dental Up podcast. And we look forward to working together in the future for sure, man. I can't wait to show you some of our stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, some of the digital stuff and everything else, and we just look forward to that for sure. And if there's anything we can do, please let us know. But again, thank you for coming on the Dental Up podcast, and we'll talk to you real soon.
All right, thanks for having me. Have a great day.
All right, Dr. Burkett. Thanks, man.
Thanks for joining us on the Dental Up podcast show this week. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or search the Dental Up podcast on iTunes for our weekly feed. Don't forget to visit KeatingDentalArts.com/promo for exclusive offers. Keating Dental Arts is a full-service dental laboratory, and we're nationwide. We'd love for you to send us a case so we can show you the Keating difference. If you dig what you heard, please leave a review on iTunes, and we'll be back next week.